More respect to Coach Beldain. Still football. Jacob Isias Gor Mahia and Zita Jimoy's Leopards failed to throw swords for the very second time. And guess what? Lack of an ideal venue 60 years after independence. Dan, I'll start with you. I know you wear the Shabana hat.
Proudly.
Yeah, but this was the biggest derby, second time in a row. What does this really depict about Kenya?
Yeah, all along, much of the talk has been about us not having the right support to our football. And for the longest time, I feel like we've been self-sustaining. Like the clubs have been self-sustaining. They don't have proper support from the patrons. The fact that the biggest fixture in the land has not happened twice now in the same season, it puts us in a very weird situation where we have to find a venue for us to have that venue. So I don't know if it will be played back-to-back. I don't know how that will pan out. But at the end of the day, it talks to our unpreparedness and the lack of goodwill from whoever is in charge of our football. And the fact that, the communication came in very late. In the morning, we were told like it's going to happen at Nyayo, but late in the evening we realized it's not going to happen. So I think it's a high time with now the new facilities coming up. I feel we should now use this as stark reminders as to why we should have proper infrastructure in place for us to have such fixtures. And again, let's not restrict ourselves to just all the fans have to be in attendance. If the situation dictates like you have to, the fixtures to go on, but we limit the number of fans coming to the stadium. If that's what it takes for us to have the fixture played, then that's fine. Why not?
You see, I want to play the devil's advocate, but I want just to pose a question. If we were to have a political event that was primed for Nyayo Stadium, do you think that event would have continued?
You see, Swila, when I'll be out of such platforms, I want to be remembered for telling people the truth. Kwa sababu msema ukweli ni rafiki wa Mungu. We don't take our sport seriously. And this is another time to remind those people who have been asking questions when we say we are not doing well as far as sport infrastructure is concerned in this country. But indeed, we have nothing against nobody when we say that. It is just the plain truth. Last week I was here and I was reminding my good friend Shitera that we are not supposed to complete Nyayo and Kasarani because of Chan. It is because we play football with or without Chan or even AFCON. Yeah. We were saying we don't want to see things slowing down simply because Chan has been pushed to August. Now, for the second or third time, the derby is being pushed. I was really embarrassed when I had a chairman, Dan Shikanda, who I don't think, with all due respect, I think he's not doing a good job at AFC Leopards. I know players have not been played for quite some time now. Saying that this match could be played in Uganda.
In Rwanda or Uganda. For heaven's sake, really?
And I'm saying, that's why I was careful to say that I hope that Benny is aware of the landscape of our football, how it is, that we cannot even host our derby, what we call a higher risk match here.
Can you imagine?
As it is today. You ask a question, precisely, if it was a political event, it would have been hosted. We always see all resources, all efforts mobilized to have things done for politics. This is what I'm going to say. I think time has come now for AFC Leopards and Gor Mahia to take matters in their hands so that you don't depend on facilities. And the goodwill of others. Because this derby should have been played by now. Can you imagine, Swila, what is happening with the broadcaster partner, Azam, that is, when it comes to these matches. The biggest derby that should sell their product can't be played. 60 years down after the independence. It's embarrassing. I want to believe that the kind of pain we are feeling as the fans, both the federation, the ministry, and the seniors of the clubs are feeling the same.
Brenda, before we go to the break, 10 seconds. He has raised a very important point, and probably you can pick the cue from there. Gor and Leopards are as guilty as charged even in this.
That's what I wanted to say.
Had they had visionary leadership, by now we won't be discussing about this.
Yeah, you cannot be having, since 1968, 1964 on your badges and purely want to depend on the government, purely want to depend on somebody else for facilities. Look at where your continental peers are. What has the derby been reduced to? Because if you're talking about a derby in South Africa right now, a month to the derby, they are sold out because they have their own facilities.
Right.
You go to Tanzania, yes, the government has built this facility for them, but what are the clubs doing to raise their own source revenue? We cannot be sitting here and talking about Gor Mahia and AFC being big clubs, yet there's nothing to show for it. I mean, football goes more than the trophies. There's just more to it than the trophies. For you to be a big name, the fact that both these clubs keep on talking of some imaginary land that was allocated to them by the late President Moi.
You call it imaginary.
Yeah, it's
It's imaginary because it's not there.
Whether it's there. I mean,
But I saw the other time I saw, sorry to cut you short, when the Prime CS, Muslim Mudavadi, was talking about fast-tracking the process at a time.
but if you have the land,
for the land rates.
if you have the land, you have the funds, you can attract proper sponsorship. You can build your own revenue from sale of merchandise and all that, and at least even just come up with a facility that you could play. It is a shame, and I'm not going to mince my words, because Gor Mahia has failed its funds. AFC Leopards have equally failed their funds. It is time we considered the truth and called ourselves the small clubs that we are.
Exactly.
Just to add on what Brenda said, actually FC Leopard is called FC Leopard Sports Club, even Gor Mahia Sports Club, which means they can be having more teams. Apart from football, they can have other activities that are being run by FC Leopards and Gor Mahia. But again, comes to the leaders who have done nothing to the team but just draining money from the team and everything. That is where we are now. And again, something else that I know elections are being done in the coming 2 or 3 months coming. Both teams are going for elections. I hope the fans are having something that they need to sit down and rethink and know someone they can choose to be their leader to take them to the next level.
You know, Swila, we were told about a housing, some house project for AFC Leopards, eh? And then you won 2 seasons ago by Dan. So basically, I don't know whether this song of constructing.
That's a topic for an entire day. We did an entire discussion about that. This is Sporty Monday, if you're just joining us on Citizen TV. And of course, most comprehensive discussions taking place here. Now we want to take a brief commercial break, but don't go away, because when we return, we have lots to talk about, including Basketball African League and the future about basketball without borders. But today, in the interactive segment, we're asking you what are your thoughts on the hiring of South African Benny McCarthy to be the new Harambee Stars coach? We want to hear your thoughts. 22422, the SMS line. You are also on X. You can X us at Citizen TV Kenya, at Isaac Swila, at ZTGMOI, and of course, we will be sampling some of them. For now, we take a break, but don't go away. We'll be back shortly.